It is day 2 of the polling in the big Russian presidential elections. But more than the elections, what appears to have overshadowed the voting process is an incursion attempt that was made along a village in Belgorod. Now, President Vladimir Putin is expected to win his 6th term and to cement his position as the Russian president until at least the year 2030. On the election front, Putin does not face any serious challenges. The other candidates in the fray for the presidential post include the likes of Nikolai Kharitonov of the Communist Party, Leonid Slutsky of the Nationalist Liberal Democrat Party, and Vladislav Davinkov of the New People's Party. Now, all three of them have refrained from any criticism of the Russian leader.
Сегодня главный момент истины в нашей.
Today is the main moment of truth in our modern post-Soviet history. The fate of Russia, Russian world, Russian civilization depend on how things will go on today, including events during Saint and Noble Special Military Operation. We hope will end this year. We will do everything possible and impossible to achieve this.
В ходе святой и благородной специальной военной операции.
If Putin wins the election, then he'll overtake the Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin to become Russia's longest-serving ruler since Empress Catherine the Great had ruled Russia. The election is taking place against the backdrop of the death of Putin's fierce critic Alexei Navalny, and also Western leaders in opposition in Russia have described the election as nothing but a sham where voting is done, the counting of votes is done, but the leader is already decided. Nearly about 90,000 polling stations have been set up for the voting purpose that ends on Sunday. The voting is taking place across 11 time zones and also online. And according to the Russian Central Election Commission, about 110 million Russian citizens are eligible to vote, including more than 1.8 million who live abroad. Voting is also taking place in the new territories that Russia has in fact taken from Ukraine. The areas include places such as Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia that Ukraine still continues to claim are its territory. Now, despite high security and tight controls, at least about 6 cases of vandalism have been reported from across Russia on the occasion of voting. Now, the war has, of course, cast a pretty big shadow on the day of voting. This includes a firebombing incident and another where a few poured a green liquid into ballot boxes. Under the Russian presidential election regulations, a candidate who receives more than 50% of the votes will secure victory. In cases where there are more than 2 candidates and no one attains a 50% of the vote, then a second round of voting is held and the results are expected by the end of March. Now, 2 people were killed and 3 others were injured in an attack by Ukraine on the Russian border city of Belgorod. The region's governor has ordered for the closure of schools and shopping malls. The city was struck by missiles that were fired from a Vampire rocket system. A separate drone strike set an oil refinery on fire. And the Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Ukraine of trying to sabotage the electoral process in his country that he is certain to win. Putin has also warned that Kyiv will be pushed back and will be punished for these attacks. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.